end quote. But did being an activist cost him his career in the NFL? Well, Kaepernick came out and said he no longer wants to protest and is ready to play. Some might believe the NFL is blackballing him, but I believe the quarterback is unemployed simply because he is not a good quarterback. There are 32 NFL teams, and in terms of completion percentage, this activist came in 23rd among starting quarterbacks. Teams overlook just about anything to get a great player. It's not about the statement he made, but about his skills at this point. If Kaepernick were a solid, reliable quarterback, NFL teams would be lined up to sign him. Kaepernick had the right idea, but maybe should have held off until he was secure in his career to make such a statement. Kneeling made Kaepernick a hot topic off the field, but his lack of skills on the field is what's keeping him unemployed. I'm Destiny Washington.
Thank you, Destiny. And that will do it for our show. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Welcome back. We wrap it up tonight with a commentary on fan safety in baseball. For that, here's Bradley Bullock.
September 22nd, a 105-mile-per-hour foul ball struck a young female fan in the face at Yankee Stadium. Players were visibly crying as medical staff removed the toddler on a stretcher. However, these incidents are not rare. In 2014, 1,750 fans were injured by foul balls. Before the season, the MLB suggested teams extend netting halfway down the dugout. But this is clearly not enough. Ballparks must begin to prioritize fan safety. Protective netting should extend to the foul pole. This move will not change fan experience. Nets are hardly noticeable. When has a net kept you from flinching as a ball comes whistling at your face? Major League Baseball, step up and take care of those who watch your product. Protect the kids watching their role models. Protect the parents sharing a moment with their kids. Prevent players from feeling guilty for doing their job. I'm Bradley Bullock.
Thank you, Bradley, and that will do it for our show. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Welcome back. We wrap it up tonight with a commentary on Brett Bielema. For that, here's Allie Lynch.
Is the Arkansas Razorback football coach Brett Bielema packing his bags? For the 5th year in a row, the Hogs lost to the Texas A&M Aggies. The coach was on the hot seat prior to the 2017 season, but this loss may have been the final straw. He's had little success against the SEC in top 25 opponents. Since Bielema came to Arkansas in 2013, the Hogs are 10-25 in conference games. We all knew it was a big challenge coming to Fayetteville, but the Hog fans had high hopes that he would turn the program around. In the end, let's be real, Bielema is just an average football coach. The big guy's best record is 8-5. That's not going to cut it if we ever want to be in the running for a national championship. Should he be fired after the season? If so, here are some candidates I can throw out who the Razorbacks could target. Lane Kiffin, Florida Atlantic University head coach. Les Miles, former LSU head coach. Mike Leach, Washington State head coach. But the most frequent argument is that he's safe because of the massive size of his buyout, which sits at $15 million if he were fired before 2018. The $15 million would be the largest buyout in SEC history. So, hey, Jeff Long, you've got a decision to make. I know it's a big chunk of money and it's hard to fire your longtime friend who just had a baby, but it's time for him to go. Fire Brett Bielema. I'm Allie Lynch.
Thank you, Allie, and that'll do it for our show. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Welcome back. We wrap it up tonight with a commentary on Trump and the NFL. For that, here's Mary Claire Spivey.
Just as we thought we were getting a break from the politically charged Facebook posts, the country is divided again, and this time, fans are at the center of the tension. Over the weekend, dozens of NFL players from many teams took a knee during the national anthem before kickoff. It all started with a comment made by President Trump the Friday before the games. Trump gave a speech identifying players who had previously kneeled during the national anthem as sons of bitches and dared them to try it again during Sunday's games. This comment has been received by many people as racist because in the past, when players had kneeled, it was to support the Black Lives Matter movement. The ones kneeling were African Americans. This caused many people to be upset. On Sunday, when more players kneeled in response to Trump's comment, it added to the tension. The question were, are these players allowed to express their political views while at work, representing a team, an organization, and its sponsors? And is it disrespectful to kneel during the national anthem as a form of peaceful protest? It was hard not to watch the game this past weekend and not take a side. Let's hope that all of the politics in sports die off before the holiday season. I'm Mary Claire Spivey.
Thanks, Mary Claire. That'll do it for our show tonight. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Welcome back. We wrap it up tonight with a commentary on the Olympics. For that, here's Ben Gladowski.
If your favorite team got to compete on a world stage, you would want to hear about how they performed, right? What if your team made it big but never saw the spotlight? I'm talking about the Olympics and their exclusive broadcaster, NBC. Since 1988, the company has been the sole American broadcaster for the Games and will be the only international source for game coverage through 2032. Those games are so far in the future, their host city has not yet been selected. NBC coverage is American-centered and emotional, a great marketing tool, but not a great sports reporting method. NBC tape delays their games so they can air during American prime time, and they focus heavily on American athletes and their origin stories. If Americans aren't a strong competitor in a sport, don't expect to even hear about that event. Why is the most diverse and inclusive event in the world so focused on only the athletes that generate the highest viewership? NBC needs to devote more resources and more airtime to covering the athletes of the whole games, not just the events and athletes Americans care about. Come time for the Winter Games, tally up how many American mothers you see and think about whether you're getting the whole picture. I'm Ben Gladowski.
Thank you, Ben, and that will do it for our show. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Welcome back. We wrap it up tonight with a commentary on women's soccer. For that, here's Sutton Mills.
In 2015, the U.S. women's national soccer team won the World Cup, earning them a whopping $2 million. The men's team was then awarded $9 million for finishing in 11th place. Does this seem fair? The women's team says no, and they filed a gender discrimination complaint to the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. After a year of deliberation, they failed to achieve equal pay. The U.S. Soccer League cited financial data in their argument, stating that the women are paid equal to the men in proportion to their total revenue. While salaries in most sports are paid in proportion to total revenue, it's unethical to continue to pay the women less. They outperform the men's team in every way. There are different ways to structure their salary. Look at figure skating. The men generate far less revenue than the women, yet are paid equal to them because it's the right thing to do. It's amazing to me that with a national league that struggles to stay afloat, the women still outperform the men in all international competition. U.S. Soccer League, will you step up and pay your female athletes the money they deserve, or will you continue to prove to young female athletes that even if they play better, they will never be equal to the boys? I'm Sutton Mills.
Thank you, Sutton. That'll do it for tonight. Tune back in tomorrow night.
Welcome back. We wrap it up tonight with a commentary on Colin Kaepernick. For that, here's Tyler Phillips.
Colin Kaepernick, he's the guy who the media is still talking about to this day because he took a knee during the national anthem. Right now, most of the narrative is about how he has been blackballed from the NFL and how wrong that is. All that talk needs to stop. First off, Colin is not a victim and people need to stop treating him like one. He is someone who brought a protest to the workplace. Anytime you become a distraction in a professional environment and don't produce at a high level, your job won't be very secure. Another thing that the media must come to terms with is the fact that Kaepernick was never fired. He opted out of his contract with San Francisco, meaning he took himself out of the NFL. People also keep referring to the fact that he is a talented player. He is, but there are a ton of talented QBs who have shown the ability to play in the NFL and are out of football. Players like Johnny Manziel, RG3, and Tim Tebow. All three of those guys are Heisman Trophy winners and first-round draft picks. Kaepernick is neither. So please, let's stop talking about him like he was not a backup quarterback when he started all of this drama in the first place. I'm Tyler Phillips.
Thank you, Tyler. And that'll do it for our show. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Welcome back. We wrap it up with a commentary on Ezekiel Elliott. For that, here's Sam Smith.
Ezekiel Elliott led the NFL in yards last season, finishing with over 1,600 yards and 15 touchdowns. But that didn't stop Roger Goodell from suspending him for 6 games to start 2017. Zeke is in the process of appealing his suspension and was granted a restraining order against the NFL by a Texas judge. The restraining order puts suspension on hold and allows Zeke to play until the injunction hearing, which will come on October 2nd. The NFL, specifically Roger Goodell, has a domestic violence issue. The league has come under fire in recent years for being too light on their punishments. 2 names that come to mind are Greg Hardy and Ray Rice. Hardy received 4 games while Rice received 2. The NFL tried to make an example out of Ezekiel Elliott with the suspension. There was just one problem. He didn't get charged for domestic violence. In fact, the case didn't even go to court because of insufficient evidence. The biggest piece of evidence against Zeke would be pictures of bruises on his accuser. However, the accuser had gotten into a bar fight with another woman before those pictures were taken. There are texts the accuser sent Zeke saying, "I'll ruin your life if you break up with me." Well, she's attempting to do that by lying, which she has been known for. The next time the NFL wants to fix their image on domestic violence, they should go after someone who's been proven guilty. I'm Sam Smith.
Thank you, Sam. That is all we have for you tonight. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.
Welcome back. We wrap it up with a commentary on Serena Williams. For that, here's Kiera Parker.
Why is Serena Williams thought to be the greatest athlete in the world? Was it because of her professional career, where she had 100 wins and only 25 losses? Maybe it was her winning the Wimbledon earlier this year, despite just finding out that she was pregnant. She has proven to us time and time again why she is the greatest female athlete, but why does the word female have to be included in that statement? Why can't she be known as simply one of the greatest? Men are being held to a higher standard, making it seem as though they work harder than us female athletes. If there were a competition to see who was the greatest, who would be the first one to come to mind? LeBron James, Steph Curry, or even Usain Bolt would all come to mind before Serena Williams would. This isn't the 1920s anymore. We need to start opening up to the fact that maybe a woman could be considered as one of the greatest female athletes. I'm Kiera Parker.
Thank you, Kiera, and that will do for our show. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Welcome back. Tonight we wrap it up with a commentary on the Dallas Cowboys. For that, here's Harrison Heffley.
America's team is a reflection of the nation it represents these days, and things are heating up on and off the field. The country is divided on whether or not the team should have knelt before the national anthem in its game against the Cardinals September 25th. This comes as a direct response to a series of President Trump's tweets, in which the president calls for some form of punishment for anyone who does not stand during the anthem. Unlike many teams, the Cowboys did stand for the anthem itself. Even owner Jerry Jones joined his players to show unity. Des Bryant and Ezekiel Elliott both commented on the Cowboys' actions, saying the kneeling was a way of showing their disagreement with the president's actions. But by standing with their arms locked, it showed their team unity. The president responded to the Cowboys with a couple more tweets. In one, he pointed to how loud the boos were when the team knelt. In the other, he complimented them for standing during the anthem. The Steelers, Seahawks, and Titans responded to the president's tweets by not even taking the field during the anthem. It seems that in a world of tweeting presidents, not even athletes can stay out of political crossfire. I'm Harrison Heffley.
Thank you, Harrison, and that'll do it for our show. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Welcome back. We wrap it up tonight with a commentary on Odell Beckham. For that, here's Juliana Clipson.
There's a difference between a statement and an embarrassment. All eyes were on New York Giants wide receiver Odell Beckham after his touchdown celebration on September 24th that shocked the nation. Beckham and Eli Manning finally made the connection needed to get some points on the board for the Giants after a long dry spell. This alone was enough to excite fans and teammates alike, but Beckham, who is notorious for his childish behavior, felt the need to push the limits. Following his touchdown, the 24-year-old proceeded to get on his hands and knees, lift his leg, imitate a dog peeing on the turf. Seriously, I mean, what was this guy thinking? After listening to this statement, it is obvious that he feels no remorse for his actions. He concluded his response to reporters by saying, "I'm going to do what I do to spark the team, and the consequences are going to be what they are." How is this sort of response supposed to come across to young fans? What kind of representation is this for the NFL itself? I think that it's just about time that Beckham grow up and leave this childish behavior off the field. Maybe the focus should be put on scoring touchdowns from now on. I think that would have a greater spark for the Giants in the long run. I'm Juliana Clipson.
Thank you, Juliana. And that will do it for our show. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Welcome back. We wrap it up tonight with a commentary on CTE. For that, here's Melanie Ripple.
On Thursday, September 21st, researchers released information about former New England Patriots star Aaron Hernandez, saying that they found a severe case of the degenerative brain disease chronic traumatic encephalopathy, also known as CTE.
Later that day, Hernandez's lawyer and fiancé announced a lawsuit against the NFL and the Patriots, accusing them of hiding the true dangers of the sport. Hernandez had stage 3 out of 4 CTE, which was the most severe case they had ever seen for someone of his age. Is CTE becoming a problem within the NFL? It seems like it. A recent study found signs of the disease in 110 out of 111 NFL players whose brains were inspected. But if players know the risks of playing football, should the NFL be sued for the consequences? Is it fair for the NFL to be held accountable regarding player safety? The fact that CTE can only be diagnosed after death makes answers difficult, but I believe the act of playing a sport with risks should be up to the player. I'm Melanie Ripple.
Thank you, Melanie, and that will do it for our show. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow night.
Welcome back. We wrap it up tonight with a commentary on the Royals. For that, here's Lane Blank.
The Kansas City Royals have been stamped as the comeback team since the 2014 season when they returned to the World Series for the first time since 1985. Even with this newly garnered respect, recent play has dropped back down after taking home the crown in 2015. The Royals have the lowest single-season home run record of any franchise in the league. In 1985, Steve Balboni blasted 36 home runs, setting the new Royals record. Balboni's record stood until September 20th when Mike Moustakas crushed a 37th home run over the right field in Toronto. This is only a small victory, though. The Royals are the only team in the league with a single-season record below 41. With only 11 games left and a bleak chance of reaching the playoffs, Moustakas' chance of lifting the Royals' record into the 40s seems slim. Royals fans should not hold out hope for a new record to be met in years to come either. Moustakas and Eric Hosmer, two of the team's best hitters, are likely to leave after this season. Salvador Perez would be the next likely candidate to tackle Moustakas' home run record. However, fans shouldn't get too excited since Perez has never had over 30 home runs in a season. I'm Lane Blank.
Thank you, Lane, and that will do it for our show. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow night.
Welcome back. We wrap it up tonight with a commentary on NFL kneeling. For that, here's Lauren Yeager.
All eyes have been on the NFL in the past few weeks, but not just for what happens after the kickoffs. NFL players throughout the country have been demonstrating before games in defiance of President Trump's harsh criticism of athletes who kneel during the national anthem. In a recent speech, he called such players sons of bitches and then doubled down on his criticism with multiple follow-up posts on Twitter. Trump's comments have sparked a large social media response from a variety of professional athletes and celebrities. Several NFL teams have decided to link arms and kneel as shows of unity, causing controversy throughout the media. However, the Dallas Cowboys and owner Jerry Jones added a distinctive wrinkle to the NFL's national anthem last Monday night. They showed their desire to highlight the need for unity and equality by kneeling and praying together, then standing arm in arm together for the national anthem. Not only did the Cowboys respect the short time it takes to sing the anthem, but they honored American history and all that the flag stands for. The Cowboys proved that teams can show support for racial equality and integrity while also respecting the flag and not upsetting the league's fan base. Hopefully this action becomes a template for the rest of the NFL to follow. I'm Lauren Yeager.
Thank you, Lauren. And that will do it for our show. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow night.
Welcome back. We wrap it up with a commentary on flopping. For that, here's Blake for word.
Sports is all about seeking an advantage over your opponent. From studying film to in-game adjustments, teams are always trying to find ways to push their lead. However, there are some less sportsmanlike ways of doing this. Flopping or diving is the process of over-exaggerating contact in order to draw a foul against the opposing team. The two sports that are most notorious users of this tactic are soccer and basketball. Soccer players constantly diving everywhere on the field to draw fouls and give their team an edge. It often results in either a free kick or a penalty and is extremely frustrating for the other team and their fans. Basketball players often over-exaggerate contact on dunks and layups in order to draw a foul and get to the foul line. The problem is that because of flopping, even the most minimal contact is given as a foul. Such foul calls in games could have a major impact that could be the difference between a win and a loss. The NBA and various soccer leagues around the world have made an attempt to stop flopping, such as fining and suspending players who flop during games. Personally, I believe that flopping is a very big issue and more severe punishments should be made quickly in order for this unsportsmanlike practice to be stopped for good. I'm Blake for Word.
Thank you, Blake. And that will do it for our show. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow night.